What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, SumnSumnSumn. Hit the keys. Here today to do a different kind of video for you. I basically want to give you guys my 7 worst purchases when it comes to music gear, my biggest mistakes. I basically wanted to make this video to help out any new producer so you don't make the same mistakes that I do, or any experienced producer so they can get a quick little laugh. Make sure if you guys like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. But let's go ahead and get right into these mistakes. Some, hit the key. All right, guys. So I'm gonna give you guys this list from the worst purchase that I've ever made all the way down to the not as bad, but still bad purchase. So by far, the worst purchase I've ever made when it comes to music production is that I spent $300 on some Bose headphones. I already know. Anybody who knows, which most of you probably do, you cannot mix down music with Bose headphones because Bose puts its own stereo profile in the headphones. So it's not a flat sound at all. So basically I spent $300 and spent years putting together bad mixes and wondering why my mixes didn't translate. And it was because I was using these Bose headphones. And then eventually I did go out and get some Audio-Technica M50s. So in essence, when you really think about it, I spent $450 just to get a decent pair of headphones. And I don't even use those M50s to this day. So those Bose headphones are by far the worst purchase that I've ever made. Don't buy any Bose headphones for mixing music. Let me know in the comments too what the worst music purchase that you ever made was. I'd like to know. We get a conversation going with worst purchases down there in the comments. The second worst purchase that I've ever made was I bought a pair of KRK Rocket 8s, and they cost me $500. And the reason why this is a bad purchase was because I didn't need 8s. So I was, producing music in a smaller room, and the 8s were just way too much for the room. I didn't have the room treated. So another reason why I was getting bad mixes is because I was using Bose headphones and I was using Rocket 8s. Now, I don't have anything against KRK. A lot of people say negative things about their monitors and so on and so forth. My biggest thing is that I probably could have used some 5s or some 6s. I didn't necessarily need the 8s. Because it was just overkill. So I probably could have saved myself a couple $100 and got some better mixes if I would have just done some more research and spent the money on some monitors that would have been, better suited for the area in which I was mixing music in. So the third worst purchase that I've made is some new Mark turntables. I spent $200 for just one turntable. And the reason why this was such a bad purchase was because when I initially started producing music again, I thought I was going to be doing all kinds of sampling, and I thought I needed a turntable to get samples off of records and so on and so forth. And ask me how many samples I pulled off that turntable to make a beat with. Yeah. So basically I spent $200 for a turntable that I did use every once in a while to listen to some records. I had some old Michael Jackson Thriller records and just some old records that I used to listen to. But I had another set of turntables that I could have used to listen to those records. So in essence, I spent $200 on a turntable to sample music, and I never sampled music. So that's something else to think about. Think about the tools if you're actually going to use the tools. I would definitely recommend wait until you know for a fact you need to get the tool. Otherwise, you might just end up blowing $200 on a turntable you don't even need. The fourth worst purchase that I made was I bought an M Audio interface with Firewire, and I didn't have a Mac. I already know, but I didn't know it came in a kit. So I didn't read the kit right. So the kit basically came with an MPK 49 keyboard controller. It came with a microphone, and it came with some little monitors. So had I read the package correctly, I would have got the right interface, but I figured that it was just a standard interface. So basically, I did get to use the M Audio interface for probably a year or so. One of my friends was a computer, he worked on computers or whatnot, and he ended up installing a Firewire into my PC. And so I could use the Firewire interface, and I didn't have to worry about buying another one. I couldn't switch it out. They wouldn't let me trade it back. Well, what eventually ended up happening was that that computer ended up crashing. And so when that computer crashed, I only had one other Windows computer, and I didn't know anybody else who could hook up a Firewire in a PC. Might be a common task, might not be. I can't do it. It's out of my skill set. So basically, I had to end up getting rid of that interface, and I couldn't find anybody to buy it forever. So I ended up buying the interface that I used before I ended up getting my Apollo Twin X. So I spent $200 on the Steinberg UR22, which was just an additional $200 that I had to spend when I had an interface that worked. So I get that I got to use the interface for a while, but I really only got to use it for like 9 months to a year, and I didn't get the full use out of that $100. So it was just a poor decision because I'm an idiot and I got the wrong kind of connection. I didn't get USB, I got a Firewire. So that would definitely be my fourth worst decision when it comes to music production gear that I've wasted money on. And that takes us right to the fifth one. The fifth one is definitely great because I ended up purchasing two different pieces of equipment. I'm just going to lump these into one. So I got an analog EQ and an analog compressor because I was going to try to start building my studio up. So I never even used this analog compressor and this analog EQ one time. Not one time. It's sitting in a storage garage halfway across the country. I've had it for over 10 years and I've never used it one time. And the set ended up costing me, I think it was about $125 or $150 because I got it used from somebody I knew. So at least I didn't break the bank to get those two pieces. But again, make sure you need equipment before you get equipment, because you might get equipment and you may get a bargain. You may get a killer deal, but a killer deal on something that you use is a bad deal. So just keep that in mind as you see the theme is going. Make sure you need this stuff before you get it. All right, and so the sixth item I have here actually, and so the sixth item that I would say was my sixth worst purchase that I've ever got would definitely be this MPK 25, the Mark II. And the reason why I say that this for me was one of my worst purchases is because I was trying to learn how to play the keyboard better. And that is not a keyboard that you should be trying to use to learn how to play the keyboard, because there's just not enough keys. There's not enough space. The keys are extra small. So I'm not saying it's a bad tool and you can't make music with it. But for me personally, I had an MPK 49 before that keyboard. So when I got that keyboard, for me, it was like a toy. And so I just couldn't use it the same as I was using the other keyboard. So I had been looking at an Arturia Keylab 49, which I've already done a review on. And that was the keyboard that I wanted to get. But I thought to myself, maybe I'll just get this MPK because it's half the price. I'll save some money and I can use that money on something else. And so ultimately, I ended up spending the money on that MPK and I still got the Keylab. And I would definitely recommend the Keylab because it's better to learn how to play keys on. You know, if you're going to try to learn how to play keys, it's got more functionality. You can do more with it. Yes, I did use this MPK to make a few MPC Beats tutorials with and stuff like that. But I still feel like if I could do it all over again, I would just either, if I didn't have the money, I would recommend saving the money to get the Keylab because it's going to last you longer and you don't have to spend the money twice. And so that's a big thing, is not spending the money twice. So I would, without a shadow of a doubt, if anybody's out there listening and you're thinking about getting a keyboard and you're thinking about getting a mini keyboard, I understand. If you don't have the space for a 49 key keyboard or a 61 key keyboard and you have to get the 25, okay, I understand. But if you have the space and you're thinking about, for right now, maybe I should just get this 25 key keyboard for right now and then get a 49 key keyboard in the future, I would just recommend going right with the 49 key keyboard, learning it, you know, start playing it, because it's going to make you better right off the jump. Yes, somebody who already plays the piano might be able to get by with this easier, but I can't stress enough, I'm hitting this point hard because I would definitely recommend getting like a 49 keyboard over something that's super small and compact. And last but not least, we have these AKG K240s. These are basically open back headphones. These are some headphones that do get a lot of respect in the music community and in like video editing as far as the audio part. But for me, in my personal opinion, these headphones are the worst flat headphones you will ever buy. And I say that because it's not an enjoyable listen. So I've had these headphones probably for almost 2 years now. And there was a point in time where the headphones that I did use broke. So I had to use these headphones only. And I didn't enjoy it. I can get decent mixes with these headphones, but the listening to these isn't enjoyable. And I didn't know that you needed a headphone jack at first headphone amp at first to use these. So I was trying to use them without a headphone amp and I just wasn't getting the volume out of them that I needed. I just didn't do my research. And then after eventually I did get that headphone amp, I just don't like the way that these sound. These was a terrible $70 investment because I never use them. I never use them to reference anything. I never use them for anything. I've bought some different open back headphones since then. And granted, I definitely spent extra money with some Bayer Dynamic DT 900 Pro X's, which are phenomenal, but more money wasted on headphones. So as you can see the theme, I've wasted some money on some headphones by just not doing my research or not going to listen to them first. So I would definitely recommend going to a music store and listening to the headphones because headphones sound different to everybody else. So some people enjoy these headphones. I do not enjoy those headphones. And you see how I will treat those headphones, and I don't treat any of my gear like that. So again, comment down below and let me know some money that you wasted on some gear that you regret. Let me know about some gear that you love that you spent some money on. Let me know if you guys want to see a video on maybe the best money that I've spent when it comes to maybe music equipment or when it comes to YouTube equipment that I use to film these videos. If that's something that you guys want to see, I would definitely love to give you guys that video as well. Or maybe if you guys want to see a video where I'm talking about the worst plugins that I've spent money on or the best plugins I spent money on, let me know in the comments down below. But that's what I got for you guys today. You already know the drill. If you guys like the content, drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. All right, guys and gals, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so every time a new video comes out, you can be the first to know. Let me know what tutorials you want to see next in the comments, and see you next time.
Some, hit the key.